Hello. Today I want to talk about passion. I want to talk about determination. I want to talk about dedication. And it became aware to me yesterday that I don't think I've actually done a diary on one of my greatest passions. And that disturbed me a little bit. It made me question, it made me wonder, it made me contemplate, why is that? And furthermore, I'm trying to think how much I can tell you without telling you what the thing is to create a big suspense. Actually, there probably won't be a suspense because I'll have the thumbnail giving it away. So, one of my greatest passions is, I'll just say it, horseback riding. And recently, I have developed that passion into a desire to want to compete. And when I got back riding horses, I rode when I was a little girl, and then when I lived in LA, I rode trail horses, and that was such a blessing, such a blessing. I do sometimes look back and wish I had taken more advantage of that opportunity that I had and just done it more. I would do it weekly, and I noticed the other day while I was riding and reflecting on spending time with my trainer and getting a lot out of my lesson, but also wondering why I was still covering basics in these lessons. And I was a little frustrated, I guess you could say. I was wondering, when will I get to that next level? And it hit me, and I was like, Christina, you say you're passionate about something, and you are passionate about it, and you have a fire lit in you, and yet you aren't backing it up with hours in, with reps in, by actually showing up and doing the thing more and more and more so that you can actually cultivate the little bit of talent you have and the reps that you already have earned throughout the years and the desire that you have. Like, you don't put any logs on that fire, Christina. So of course you're not going anywhere, not really. And so it was a little bit of a tough love moment, but it was a moment that was necessary. And then I got to reflecting on these diaries, and I thought about the passions that I have in my life. I'm passionate about doing this. I'm passionate about my priestess business. I'm passionate about the Priestess Collective. I'm passionate about being a teacher and being a guide and helping others find their spirituality and begin to expand and go to the next level and understand themselves and help align their path with their true north, and on and on and on. And I got to thinking, why can't I also have a passion where I cultivate my horseback riding skills, become a barrel racer, become a good barrel racer, and just throw myself fully into that fire? And I have a quote here that just really lit me up as I was reading it. It says, the price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. And I think this is the key. I think this is the next step. I think talking about it and sharing it. I also, during my contemplations and reflections, I remembered a time where the person that I had gotten closest to was my greatest heretic and my greatest naysayer. And they're no longer in my life. My life is so much more joyful and blissful now because of that. And also, I have the residue of the wounding from some of the dreams that I shared, and I felt dismissed and shot down and rejected. And as you can tell, it brings up a lot of emotion in me because I think it's one of the cruelest things you could do to a partner or to a friend, to a loved one, is to hear their dream and to feel their passion and their desire and to witness that spark of a flame of a fire that could potentially be big and beautiful, and dump water on it and stamp it out because of your own insecurities you're projecting onto that person. And I just think it's one of the cruelest acts of violence we can do to another being. And I'll challenge you to reflect on whether you've done that to someone and really take a look at that, because it's not, no, it's not okay. And for those of you who have shared a dream with someone that you trusted or someone that you loved or someone that you admired their opinion, and it was shot down or it was rejected or it was received with a lackluster audience, don't let that stop you. And this is why there are many quotes and narratives of, I'm going to move quietly. You won't know I'm moving until you see my success. And these quotes around like being mysterious and not sharing and speaking your truth and not putting it out there. And I don't resonate with that personally, because it's fear for me. It would be because I share so much and I inform so much. For me to not inform, it would be from a place of fear. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with living in fear. I think it's a lack mentality and very far from my truth and my authentic self. So for me personally, I love to share what I'm working on. I love to put it out into the world. And also, I'm not ashamed to pivot. If something happens where this dream shifts into something else, or something sparks my interest and my time is demanded somewhere else and I'm inspired to give my time in that other direction, I will. And I'll share that too. I don't find myself too prideful to be able to pivot and to be honest and authentic and say, yes, I did love that thing and I went far with that thing, and also this thing came up and now I really want to pursue that. And I think that's being human. So I am so grateful for a little bit of this anger and frustration that came up on my ride the other day, of my sort of like, I felt like I was plateaued, and I felt like we were covering things in my lesson that were so fundamental and foundational and basic. And I just got to feeling a little hopeless. Like, when will I be to the next level? What is that going to take? This has been years of me coming weekly, and I recognize, Christina, for anyone to be great at anything, it's about putting energy in. And how much energy have you really put into this? How much time do you spend thinking about it? How much time do you spend researching it? And the answer is a lot. I do watch a lot of technique videos, and when I'm there, I'm so present out at the barn. But for me, I think it was a simple fact of like not having enough barn and farm time, not being out there and putting more and more reps in, so that when I'm with my trainer, we can focus on the more technical things. And I've got my foundations really locked in. So that's the awareness that I came to. And also, I recognized that I had a limiting belief programmed in my brain from when I had shared that vision. I had shared with my ex about how, I would love to compete. I was like sharing how excited I was after a ride, and I got this download of like showing at a very small little event, and I wanted to compete there, and I wanted to ride the horse and just try it, and I was just so lit up. And I remember it just being shot down. And I remember thinking, no, that can't be true. It can't, this feels good. This feels good. And also I remember feeling like, Christina, that's too much. You're too much. You're trying to do too much. Just push that away. Put that down. Just keep going about your life. Like, just keep focusing on all the other irons you've got in the fire, and just push this aside. And when I uncovered that belief that I do believe has been playing out and is the reason I didn't even push myself to be at the barn more and try more and move towards that goal more, is because of that rejection and that separation from my passion on some level. Almost like it was like a too big of a dream, like too far-fetched. I've got way too much on my plate to really truly be good at that. That was the belief and the narrative that started playing out in my mind, again, very unconsciously. And so I'm so grateful to have it uprooted and I can see it. And what's so cool is it's a new moon today, and it's a time to take practical action and write down specifically where you're going and what you're moving towards. It's a Capricorn new moon. We've got our sun in Capricorn. It is like CEO boss energy. And so I feel so lit up and invigorated and free from that victim story as well. I had that victim narrative that this person who I loved, or and I felt had loved me and supported me, didn't think this would be best for me, so I'll just put it aside. And so breaking free from that victim pattern and letting myself know, Christina, whatever dream you want, whatever passion lights you up, we will go for it. Let's go for it. And I felt this rush of joy and lightness come over me, and like excitement of like, oh, wow, I wonder if I can, I wonder how this is going to go. I wonder how it'll all unfold. I'm excited to see the process. I'm excited to get better. I'm excited to feel more confident on the horse. And I think recently I've been partnered with a horse more frequently, and so I've been able to actually build a bond with this beautiful animal. And I think now that is what has been, brought the potential for the dream to resurface. I can see well, maybe we could compete. We have this relationship. I'm consistently riding him. We've learned to trust each other, and we're only getting better and better every time we ride. So it's just exciting. And I think it's really important for us to go back to the things that were a very delicate little flame that we were bold enough to share with someone. And maybe it was blown out, or maybe it wasn't received the way you expected it would be. And maybe you're victimized on some level by that. And maybe you've just shoved it away and pushed it away. I'll challenge you to look at that and ask yourself, do I still have the passion to pursue this? I will go forth anyway, even if no one's on board with it, even if it's just for me. In fact, I would encourage you to follow your passions that are just for you. And then if others get on board and if others are excited about it and they want to be a part of it, awesome. That's just bonus, sprinkles on top of your Sunday. But you don't need it. It's not required. And so this feels like a really beautiful chain falling off of me that was placed on me, and I allowed to be placed on me. I surrounded myself with someone who I knew had that negative energy, and I feel that chain sliding off of me, and I'm just so excited to see what opens up from this. Again, even if it's just immeasurable joy from within my child heart who has always wanted to be a very skilled horsewoman. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to share this. I'm excited to have I feel like a marker, a moment in history documented, and it'll be something that throughout the diaries and throughout my probably Instagram and, my journey, I'll continue updating, and who knows where this will all go. All I can say is when I'm at a competition watching, or even when I'm watching barrel racing on YouTube, I am overwhelmed with emotion. I feel like I'll watch myself on the edge of my seat, cheering for people I don't even know in the stands, and or holding my phone, and I'm watching these people do this incredible dance with an animal, and I'm overwhelmed with excitement and nerves and emotions. It brings me to tears watching them, watching the horses, watching the humans and the horses have this really delicate, sensitive relationship. It really moves something in me, and that I'm so grateful for, because those emotions has been what has guided me back to that passion. And it's making me realize this is something inside of you, Christina, that's wanting to be nurtured. You can nurture it. You don't need anyone else to be on your team to nurture it. You is enough. So I have one other really inspiring quote. Let me pull it up here. I have a few. Okay, so if you also are inspired by this and you're needing a little quotations around discipline and dedication, here are a few. Talent is nothing without dedication and discipline, and dedication and discipline is a talent in itself. And success comes to those who dedicate everything to their passion in life. And kind of on the piggybacking off that, life is about discovering your passion and creating a fire to burn inside of you. Let your passion drive you. So I hope that this inspires you in some level. And happy new moon. And I hope you write down some intentions and goals and do some contemplation and reflection. And I am going for a practice ride tomorrow and immediately putting into place this revelation that I've had. I will not waste this revelation. I hear my guides, I hear God, I hear Spirit. I know it's time to take action, and I'm really ready and excited to do it. So I'll be riding tomorrow and working on getting better and better and better and honing my skills and building my connection with being. And I'm just, I'm so excited to see where this journey will go. So thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers. I can feel them already. And here's to breaking free of the chains of people who wanted us to be smaller, but we refused to fit into their little box. Love you all.